Casual
it
1v1s?
correctly. Casual 1v1.
That's so hype.
Unranked
That's
1v1?
so
Casual
hype.
1v1s?
Unranked 1v1, finally.
Can we just let it sit for a minute and just let chat
Yeah,
bask in the glory?
Finally. I know it took a long time.
1v1.
And here's the
Casual,
thing.
friendly.
When we do have something to experiment with in the experimental queue, it'll be a very focused thing for a very limited amount of time where we get concise feedback on it. And that will replace the unranked 1v1 queue, right? And then when we're done, it'll just switch back to unranked 1v1.
Exactly.
We won't have
I like
to wait
that.
for a patch. We could have like low gravity weekend in the experiment. We're not going to do that.
Yeah, but
we're
wait,
not doing that.
Hold on. Write that down, chat.
The point is we can experiment very focused for a very short amount of time that we need to, and unranked 1v1 will be like the default. And experimental will be
the one that's shifting back and forth.
It'll take the place of it when we need it to, and so on.
So yeah,
Can't wait for experimental weekends.
Yeah,
sounds so
right.
fun.
Experimental weekends or weeks, but that's the point in this new system that we've created in the back end, where we have that flexibility to really kind of switch in and out of these queues. And so what we're pretty much saying here with unranked 1v1 is that that's going to be replacing the experimental queue. But when we actually have something that needs to be experimented on, just like Foda said, that experimental queue switches out, is a focus, play tests for the community, right? For like the weekend, the week, or however long, and then it switches back. So unranked 1v1 becomes the more like, I would say, semi-permanent queue.
Semi-permanent, and
quotes
just
there,
to get ahead of
semi-permanent.
When it releases, you won't be able to ban gadgets, but we will add that feature in the future where unranked 1v1 can have ban gadgets.
You read my mind. I was going to ask, honestly, 100%.
I'm sure that was coming,
So there's one more thing about this kind of like queue system and all that stuff. There's another update that goes along with this, free-for-all update.
Oh, huge.
What?
Yeah, that's something that we're going to experiment with. We've made some new scoring mechanics for free-for-all. Okay.
What does that mean?
Let's talk about this. The very first platform fighter that came out, which shall remain unnamed, set the standard for platform fighters. Set the standard for platform fighters to have the free-for-all scoring be based on knockouts and nothing else. That is lame. I've always thought that was lame. I think everybody agrees, but that's just the way it is, or the way it was. What we're going to experiment now with is this new scoring system we've made that considers much more than just who got the knockout, but who did, what damage people took, how many people did you hit, was it a light attack, a signature, how much damage did it do? And you can see, if you look at the top right of this gameplay footage, you can see like how the points are going down right now. It's crazy, right? You got small hits, big hits, epic hits, and so many different things will give you points in different ways. Damn, Kaya is just killing it right now.
Kaya's doing great. Let's go, Kaya.
And KOs obviously give you the most points of anything, but if you hit like 4 people with the same attack, that probably gives you more than just knocking out one person. So it is no longer viable for you to avoid combat and like just steal a KO at the last second, and the person who did 200 damage to that guy doesn't get anything. That's messed up, right? So now it's more just generic, like it's performance based.
Yes, there you go.
Performance based. You'll never be able to get negative points, which is nice.
So if I knock my opponent into somebody else's pressure mine, I still get points.
You get points, yeah.
That's no longer stolen from me.
Exactly.
Doesn't get stolen from you.
They got more, but
I still get some.
Got points. Yeah.
I'm bullish on that.
This is totally how free-for-all should have always been in every platform fighter. Am I crazy? This is how it should have always been. So we're gonna experiment with it. We'll turn on, because of that super cool queue system I talked about that we did in the back that nobody's gonna appreciate, but it's a big deal. This is the kind of stuff that we get to do with that.
Now we can update.
We'll turn on this new free-for-all queue for a while. We'll get your feedback on it. I think it's gonna be super awesome. It's straight up, in my mind, it's a straight up upgrade to counting KOs for free-for-all, but just in case.